What's going on, you guys? Sorry for like the shoddy intro. I'm not really sure how to get it to just record the slideshow. So I have to do the display capture. I did the whole video before, but I was basically just recording a still screen. So I'm just gonna run it again. I'm here today basically just to talk to you guys real quick about Hidden Arsenal. If you guys don't know, the new Hidden Arsenal set was just released to the TCG, and yeah, if you guys can see the words on the screen, it's got some problems. Namely in its value. There's just about nothing you can buy at the or nothing you can pull out of the box at the $15 MSRP that makes the card makes the box itself worth buying. It's pretty unfortunate. But anyway, without any further ado, I'm just going to kind of get into what I have laid out. So first and foremost, the only card that you can actually make money off of in this set is a Stone Age card that was printed all the way back in Dark Crisis, so that's 2003 or 2004, and that's Skill Drain. I've been talking a lot about Skill Drain on the channel recently. I just acquired my playset from this set, which and it's very expensive, right? The 3 Skill Drain were collectively they were $75 because I bought them from my local game store just because I wanted to play them and didn't want to wait for them in the mail. Plus, I really don't trust the mail service all that much. So yeah, we ended up getting the skill drains, or our skill drains are. We had to take it a little loan to get the skill drains, but you know that's how it goes. But this card is basically $75 for a playset, and it's like a key to making a lot of budget decks good and allowing them to compete. It turns my $300 deck into a $400 deck, but it makes it a whole lot better. So yeah, it's been printed a ton of times, common, but it lacks like a structure deck or a promo printing. And I know Konami doesn't really do promos anymore for some reason. They've kind of stopped gracing us with the joy of accessible reprints for cards that desperately need them. But yeah, we got the ultra rare skill drain. It's not like short printed to my knowledge, but if it was short printed, I'm sure it would be even more expensive than it is right now. But yeah, this is the only value proposition where you're going to open a box and pull a card out that is actually worth more. But that brings me to my next point: the Swag Incarnate, the god himself, the Winged Karibo dice. So if you guys don't know, the MSRP includes 2 of the Hidden Arsenal packs, which have a ton of the cards in them. But like I said, there's just about nothing you can open in the Hidden Arsenal packs that's worth money. So unfortunately, you're kind of desperately hoping to pull either a Skill Drain or a Winged Karibo dice. So the Winged Karibo dice are 1 per case, making them really, really rare. That's a lot of boxes you're going to have to open. I believe it's 8 display cases make 1 real case, and I think it's 8 like $15 boxes are in the display cases. So you mathematicians can do the calculations down below, but these dice are pretty hard to come by. Actually, funnily enough, I paid $10 just at my local game store just for the Karibo dice itself. I probably could have opened a box or done better stuff with that $10, but I needed dice, so I got a really limited rarity Winged Karibo dice, and I also got the Trishula dice from the same set. So the Trishula dice is not very is not like shorted or whatever. Funnily enough, my local game store was kind enough to show me what they got from unpacking all the packs that they were going to unpack. As you guys know, whenever a local game store gets a set, they always open a ton of it so that they can sell the singles like the first day or whatever. They're unpacking it like whenever they get it, like maybe a month in advance, but no one can take the cards, no one can sell the cards. So then, it kind of showed me the distribution. We bought the last 2 Karibo dice, which were very, very, very limited in quantity. And then as for the Trishula dice, that was probably the second most limited of the dice that were available. But yeah, it's really interesting to see that they've actually given different rarities of the dice. But I actually think they're really, really nice dice. It's probably my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh item that I own right now, aside from maybe my Spellground or my deck itself. But yeah, that's cool. But I really think that Konami needs to do better and try to put some cards they've already milked for a lot of their money in the set as maybe a common or and maybe even an upgrade as a dual terminal rare, dual terminal ultra rare, dual terminal common. You can still do that, but those are actually more rare. Anyway, without any further ado, I kind of have prepared 3 cards that I think would have, maybe if they could have put not necessarily these cards themselves, but similar cards that I feel like they've really gotten money out of already in the set. It would have made it more palatable for vendors to buy it, more palatable for me myself to buy it for $15.99. It's really it's a push, right? It just doesn't feel like it's worth it. It's not. So yeah, the first card I have in there is Ash Blossom. So Ash Blossom is $25 for a common copy, and it's super essential to play competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! These days. Unfortunately for me, I was not playing the game when this card came out as a common or in the dual Devastator pack. So this card right now is $25 minimum and is currently residing out of my price range. Putting this card as a common would have been obviously nice, but even as an ultra, this card probably would have maintained around a $15, maybe a $12 value, somewhere in Nibiru's price range, something like that. And it would have made the set more viable to open, right? Because pulling a $10 staple card that's not going to really go down much further from that is just nice. It just adds like a solid base of value to the set itself, and I feel like that's what this set is really missing. It has no base of value, right? Like there's nothing in here that we're like super thrilled about. So you could have put, and I even think all the Ghost Girls could use another reprint, because some of them like Ghost Ogre and Ghost Belle are starting to get pretty expensive again. Like these cards are super, super good, super generic, and they're always going to want to be playable. And it would have been nice to, like I said, you could have given them a rarity upgrade, and you could dilute it even more with the more Ghost Girls. There's bad Ghost Girls, obviously. Konami wants to dilute it. They are liable to do something like that. But anyway, I kind of want to digress from this point, but $25 common Ash is really bad, and if they're not going to give us a common copy, just give us like an ultra reprint so that at least it can start to go down, or maybe some people want to move off the commons and move to the DT ultras. Like maybe it would make the card more accessible, and it would make me maybe even want to buy a box, right? But as it currently stands, I have no reason to buy a box of the Hidden Arsenal set, because I'm not going to pull a dice that I don't have that I want, right? Because I have the Trish dice and I have the Winged Karibo dice, and there's no cards I want in the entire set because I have my 3 skill drain. Another card that would have been perfect for this, probably even better, is Droll, because Droll came out in kind of that same era of 5Ds. And it still remains a $15 card for the common. It's exceedingly expensive for the foil versions of this card, and I think this card would have been a great DT Ultra. I think it would have been a great common or a DT common. Like, I just think that there's just nothing in the set particularly that I'm super thrilled about purchasing. And I guess I'm just going to keep harping on that point, because it really is the main crux of the argument here regarding, basically what I'm saying with just having no base, right? Another card that is really, really, like, expensive, even though Konami's reprinted it a ton, and it's about a 4-year-old card, evenly matched, is $25 a copy, and as it stands right now, going first is a super, super big advantage. So I think that Konami probably should see about potentially upgrading the availability of some going second cards. So I'm not going to say that they should reprint cards like Droplet, cards like Magician Souls right away. I mean, Magician Souls actually fits in this set, and potentially this would have been a decent way to make the set more palatable, because that probably would have maintained a $20 value if you just would have put it in as a DT Ultra, and that could have given some base to the set. But I understand them not wanting to do that. I don't want Adventure in here. I don't want DPE. Dragoon would have been a good fit, but I understand that they're really trying to make that card exclusive. There's a lot of cards that would have been potentially a good fit. Dragoon seems like a perfect fit for this set, but they didn't want to give the set any value, and I can't say that. It feels like whoever is at Konami has to know that the set's not going to do very well. Vendors are not buying it. Players are not buying it. I've seen some packs opened of it at my locals, but there really is nothing in there that's worth playing. Potentially, the Hidden Arsenal cards are good. It's just it's something you could buy like a little kid, right? A $15 little thing with a dice and a rule book and some cards in there, and but they're not going to appreciate what the dual terminal like rarity is. They're not going to appreciate that part of the card, so perhaps it's not really worth giving it to them. It's just kind of sad, right? Because it just begs the question of who is this for? It's for like people who played during the DT stuff coming out and want nostalgia, and there's just about no other value in it. As sad as that is. Putting a card like evenly, putting a card. I don't want Lightning Storm. I don't want droplets. Like, I understand that you need to keep those cards limited as a way to drive sales, Konami. I get that. I'm not asking for all of that. I'm not asking for you to ruin your future reprints. I'm just saying give us usable cards in the set. Don't give us Book of Moon in 2022 or Dark Paladin. It just feels a bit insulting, right? Because, we know that you can do better, Konami. We know. We just know. Because I feel like it took me 10 minutes to make this set actually buyable and a desirable set whatsoever. But someone at Konami doesn't want to do that, or someone at Konami is incapable of doing that. I don't know. I guess they just wanted this set to fail. I cannot understand why. I actually see this set as something that you could potentially invest in some of the DM cards that are in it. Those cards are kind of always going to go up. Cards like Dark Paladin have a funny way of always reaching $10 no matter what the printing is. So yeah, aside from that, there's really no like short-term value or meta value in the cards at all. We could have even potentially world premiered some cards, right? I mean, there's no new cards in the set, or if they are, they're the promos or whatever, which I didn't discuss in the set because none of the promos are reaching around $10. Maybe Pilearm Dragon is like $7. But yeah, nothing else in there is very good. I like Formula Synchron, it's pretty cool. I just think it looks good, but aside from that, like, there's no value in the set. So yeah, this is really just me saying, as a player who really wants to support this game and really wants to see it thrive, like, you have to do better. You can't just keep giving us these like almost worthless reprint sets and expect us to buy them. You put one good card in it, Skill Drain, but that's not enough. That's like, it's not even the bare minimum, Konami, and I feel like you know that. I don't know who I'm talking to. Obviously, they're not listening to me, but yeah, you guys can do better. You guys can do better. All right. Anyway, it's been your boy Neosynthesis. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe. Peace. Oh God, peace. What's that?